Well, welcome to the show. Karine Jean-Pierre, she's still lying. She's doubling down on it all. We're going to show you that clip in just a minute. This is a double wide, but I'm not going to officially brand it double wide anymore. Tired of that. Those of you in the quad club, that's going to be our little secret now. We're going to know on the inside what that means. Let's get to the news, though. Welcome to In Exile. This is where the happy patriots are. We serve God. We repent before God, because what kind of family man are you if you're not willing to repent of your sins? And then we also protect our family because we have repented. And that's how you build a civilization. So you have God, family, country. That's the civilization. And then our vocation, our work. Because we're workaholics, we work our butt off, as Trump says, to prove that we're not a king. Here's Karine Jean-Pierre, who may not be a king, but she's some kind of a queen.
The apparent decline of Joe Biden, you said you're a member of the inner circle and you never saw the decline. And after that, I wrote, how? Yeah. You even write, Karine, that you were on the plane with him going to the debate and you didn't see anything.
Well, this is a Democrat who just now called her out, goes, you didn't see anything. How? How on earth, woman?
We were on the Air Force One going to the debate. You got to remember his campaign people were on the team.
Little hair straightener. I like the white outfit. This is a better look for her, that white outfit. This is much classier than the tacky, weird outfit she was wearing as press secretary.
His family was on the team. I actually was one of those rare trips that I didn't really see him until after the debate, even though I was on the plane. So really, I want everybody to know that I take this question incredibly seriously.
Anyone believe that? Does anyone believe that this lady takes the question seriously about Trump's decline? You'll notice I don't say that. I never tell you guys the lies that Barack Obama tell. I've worked it out of my vocabulary. Phrases like, I take that very seriously. If you have to say that to someone, you're already in trouble. Or Barack Obama, who would say, let me be totally clear. That means you're about to spew out some super opaque BS lie. So I try not to qualify my own statements. Sometimes I slip into a bad habit of trust me. Trust me when I say this. Those are things we don't have to say, because either you trust someone or you don't. You don't trust someone just because they tell you, trust me.
I do. I was his White House press secretary, which means I had a role that saw him practically every day and traveled with him.
And you saw nothing.
For more than 95%. We've always said.
He was a translator because she spoke vegetableese.
We're not going to say, oh, he didn't age. He aged. And He poked fun at it. We always owned up. And with age comes what happens when you get older.
Which is?
He aged, and I'm just merely tall at 6'8".
But when we talk about the mental acuity, and again, I take this very, very seriously.
No, you don't. Yeah.
I never saw anyone who wasn't there. I saw someone who was always engaged. I saw someone who understood policy, pushed us on the policy, and also understood history. And there were times, I'll tell you the story, there were times where he would call me into the Oval Office, and I would be like, oh no, because I knew whatever he was going to ask me was going to be direct, was going to be about a story he read, about how we're pushing back, how we're pushing a message forward.
And you write
Why would she say, oh no? He called me in and I was like, oh no, because I knew he would be direct. I knew it would be a policy that's important. Why would you dread that? Okay, so she is just going to bold-faced lie for the rest of her life. She's going to wear that badge of dishonor. She could publicly say, I got it wrong, guys. Now, to make my point, I just want to compare Karine Jean-Pierre doubling down on a lie versus George Santos, disgraced politician. Listen to what he says. This is the big difference between Republicans and Democrats, or I should say a repentant person and an unrepentant person.
Are your fellow Republicans. Before there was a conviction, you were kicked out of Congress in a pretty big bipartisan vote. What is your message to your former colleagues now that you are out of prison and you are talking about being humble and having remorse?
Let's work for the people. I understand. I was in a chaotic ball of flame 2 years ago. I was my own worst enemy. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry to the American people. I'm sorry to the people of the 3rd Congressional District of New York. I'm sorry to the leadership of the Republican Party who invested their time in me. My chairman in Nassau County, my former chairman in Suffolk County, my chairman in Queens County, my chairman in New York State, along with the voters. I'm sorry. I genuinely am sorry. And to my colleagues who I forced their hands, quite literally, in my own doing, I'm sorry I put you through that. And I do hope that you all continue to work and continue to deliver for the American people, because
So that's a real apology. I'm sorry. I did this. To the voters, he gave the entire list. I'm sorry for even making you have to deal with me. That, I got nothing but forgiveness for that. I think he kind of gets it. But there's a real difference in what he's doing versus Karine Jean-Pierre, who is not sorry for telling a bold-faced lie. Now, on the no respect, here's this one ain't going to be pretty. We're still going to do a little bit of the fallout from the No Kings because it's just too funny. I found these are 2 days old or whatever. This is her. She's going to break a plastic crown.
Going to tear up the crown.
And that's as deep as the debate goes. That's the only thing they know. This is cosplay. This is posturing. This is theater. She broke a plastic crown in half and then just everyone cheers. It's so easy to be a Democrat. It's true, even in the arts. I had to work my tail off doing great entertainment. Some Democrat comes along and just goes, we're going to make the lead character a black lesbian in a wheelchair. And everyone's like, I'm like, what does the character think? What do they do? How do they act? How does it work within the episode plots? They just walk in. It's so easy for them. And then everyone applauds you. But we're not going to applaud this from Nancy Pelosi. This is a beautiful one right here. These are all of the times. This is a Chief Sund. Who's Chief Stephen Sund? He was in the Capitol when Nancy Pelosi denied all the times that they asked for the National Guard to support them. And then she blames Trump, right? Chief Sund's requests for National Guard support. This is his own personal records on January 3rd. That's 3 days before January 6th. Pelosi's SAA Irving. She said, I don't like the optics. January 3rd. Second time, 2 hours later, Senate SAA Stenger concurs with Irving. I concur. I don't like the optics. January 6th at 1 p.m., Irving needs to, quote, run it up the chain, unquote, to Pelosi. This is 5 minutes later. Stenger won't override Pelosi's SAA. That is the call down. 20 minutes later, Stenger still waiting for Irving. 7 minutes later, Irving waiting for the okay from Pelosi. 6 minutes later, Irving still waiting for the okay from Pelosi. 5 minutes later, Senate waiting to concur with the House. This is why nothing gets done in your government. 7 minutes later, Irving says, okay, coming soon from Pelosi. We're going to get word. 15 minutes later, Irving stresses, okay, any minute from Pelosi. And then 5 minutes later, Irving goes, authority from Pelosi, Stenger concurs, and it was approved. That was the 3-day situation of Nancy Pelosi dragging her feet on the National Guard because Democrats, you cannot trust them. This is a violent movement. These people are lunatics. Here's the one from the protest threatening Donald Trump. Remember, we said they're all old boomers, and I don't mean the good boomers and MAGA. The emphasis here isn't on boomers. It's on leftist, Marxist, crazy, murderous people.
Look at that shirt.
Okay, here
8647. Explain it to me. I like the colors.
Kill the son of a bitch.
8647. There he is, Wilford Brimley. He looks like the coach for the Chiefs. 8647. Kill the SOB. Really? You want to clarify that, sir?
Who?
Wow, he's 47th president.
Really? What's your name?
Dick Saber.
Glad we got that on camera. You know that's illegal, right? You don't threaten the president. You don't threaten anybody. But that's the problem with your guys' side. You guys get so emotional, you feel you need to threaten people.
Well said.
But don't worry, we're spreading love, and we're going to fix it.
Fuck you guys.
F you guys, to love, and we're going to fix it. That is one hateful cuss. Now, on the last video, I reported some fake news on accident. I couldn't help it. I took MSNBC as a source. I showed you this crowd of the protest. See that crowd? That is not the No Kings protest. This is fake news that MSNBC put out. Breaking: analysts are calling this the biggest fraud in American history, and MSNBC falsely aired a video from 2017 claiming it was live footage from yesterday's No Kings rally in Boston. MSNBC purposefully wanted to portray a massive turnout for No Kings, which was a lie. How do we know it's a lie? Rep. Anna Paula Luna with the receipts. No King's protest was completely organic. When people say that, don't let anyone tell you otherwise. She's making fun of the Democrats for claiming it. Some of this lettering is too small, but it goes into all of the donations. Some of them are like this one, $21 million. KBS, the Justice Education Fund, $46 million. These are $1 million donations, gang. The Feminist Majority Foundation. You guys, some of you guys are going, I'm a feminist, I'm a good one. There's no such thing as a good feminist. You can be pro-feminine, pro-whatever, you can be pro-women, but a feminist is a satanic ideology that says men and women are interchangeable, and that is not true. Equal, but we're not interchangeable. People for the American Way Foundation. Look, they gave $2 million. Are you guys still dumb enough to be donating to them? Remember the People for the American Way? It's like March of Dimes. People used to give to these things. Now, on being losers. Look, here's Exhibit A of losers. It's Cory Booker and Adam Schiff trying to drum up some heat at the No Kings rally. I had to laugh at this.
This is what democracy looks like.
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 No one's behind you. No one's even looking at you. The three girls behind them are looking toward, of course, no girl ever looked at Adam Schiff. They're going like, what are these freaks doing? But no one is joining your little rant. Yay, I'm so proud. I'm Cory Booker. No one is chanting with you. You're sitting there with your selfie phone. Two alleged Democrat celebrities and nobody cares. But we have more on Adam Schiff in a minute. Here's where the Democrat shutdown has not harmed Trump whatsoever.
About Donald Trump shutdowns, net approval rating, we're talking 20 days into it. In 2018/2019, Donald Trump's net approval rating was already falling. The shutdown was eating into his popular support. It was down 3 points already at this particular point and would fall considerably more. It was very much on the decline. You come over to this side of the screen, this shutdown hasn't eaten into Donald Trump's support at all. His net approval rating is actually up a point in terms of his popular support. So the bottom line is this. The first shutdown during Trump's first term, 2018-2019, was hurting Donald Trump.
It was unpopular, the first shutdown, because Republicans didn't own any media. We didn't do anything. We didn't have Twitter. We didn't have YouTube. And now we do. So now the media can no longer frame this thing as Trump is screwing you. No. People know this is a Democrat Schumer shutdown, and they like Trump in response to it. Their little magic doesn't work anymore.
This one is not hurting him at all. There's no real reason Donald Trump might say, at least when it comes to popular support, I want to get out of this shutdown.
What about the question of blame?
Yeah, okay. What about the question of blame? Okay, you see here, you see Donald Trump's net approval rating was down 2018 to 2019. You talk about 2025 as net approval rating is up. It comes down to the blame game, a game I loved to play when I was younger. Blame Trump for the shutdown a great deal. In 2018/2019, 61%, more than 3 in 5 Americans blame Trump a great deal for that particular shutdown. You come over to this side of the screen, look at this. It's a different world. It's a different world. 48% of Americans.
Okay, that means if I'm doing my math right, that would be what? 52% blame, slightly more blame the Democrats. It should be everyone blame the Democrats. Now, this one, you guys, I'm reading the chat, and it's you guys, Doug. You need an emblem on your shirt, and you will fit right in with Star Trek and aboard the Starship Enterprise with Captain Kirk. Now, listen up, you guys. Why do I suddenly, you guys think I look like Captain Kirk, like a member of the Enterprise on my chair? Bones. My crew has been taken over by aliens, though their faces remain the same. Swat. Away team. You guys are mean. I'm going, it's just one person commenting. Wait, here's another one. Doug, add a Starship Enterprise insignia to your fit, and you are Captain Kirk. What is the deal? Do I look like I wear a hairpiece like Shatner, the great William Shatner? Wait, here's another one. Looks like you're wearing your Star Trek uniform, Doug. Gee, thanks, guys. I get a new outfit. And there you go. Here's Tim Burchett on his take. I was laughing at this one a lot on the No Kings Day.
Hey, everybody. Congressman Tim Burchett.
here at your friendly neighborhood Burger King, enjoying my No Kings Day with some traditional flame broiled goodness in my hand right now.
This makes me want a Whopper really bad. Look at Tim Burchett with a Burger King crown.
You imagine the Democrat Party calling about no kings, and they literally elected their candidate for president, Kamala Harris, with no election. Imagine that. The irony of it all. Like it says right there, we're ready to eat like royalty. You rule America. We don't have a king in this country. We've got a president. He's doing a pretty darn good job. Thank y'all for sitting with me.
I don't want to criticize you, Tim, but you really should have taken a bite of the Whopper at the end of the clip. It would have just stung the whole thing if you jammed half that thing in your mouth. Here's President Trump on Barack Obama, because Barack Obama, well, Adam Schiff could be next. Adam Schiff is illegal, could be next, but he's aiming at Barack Obama here.
All of these indictments caused Obama the other day on a podcast to say that right now democracy is being threatened.
Yeah, no, he says that all the time. He's the one that threatened it by spying on my campaign. He started it. Obama spied on my campaign, and he did it knowing it was illegal. He knew it was illegal, but he started the whole thing, and there were a lot of dishonest people, and I suspect they'll be caught.
Okay, they're going to get caught. All the dishonest people he suspects will be caught. A lot of moving parts on this, but it is coming for real. It takes some time, but it's coming. And just so you know, Barack Obama, that was last week when he was on that podcast saying democracy's on the line. And so he was aware before the No Kings protest what the branding was going to be. We don't have a king. Here's some quick news here from Sean Farash, hack judge in charge of the Bolton case. We have the judge here. Corruption Watch is from Rep. Andy Ogles, my people here in Tennessee, Judge Ted Chuang, an Obama-appointed anti-Trump judge has been assigned the case against John Bolton. Now, here's the problem. Almost everyone in that pool of judges, a very high number of them were Obama or Biden appointees. He already ruled against Elon Musk and Doge and against President Trump when he righteously implemented the travel ban. I filed articles of impeachment on this judicial hack months ago. This is not good. Okay, so they're saying he got a Democrat judge, and we all know what happens then. And then we got this clip. I just like this clip. It's from the past. It's of Tim Kaine saying, first open the government back in 2018, and then we'll talk to the other side. So we're going to hold him to this rule. First open the government, and then we'll negotiate.
Senator, back in 2019, you made a similar argument during that shutdown that Republicans are making now. Republicans at the time were asking for more funding for a border wall. You said, let's reopen the government first. I want to play a little bit of what you had to say.
We first should reopen government. Why punish people who are applying for food stamps because the president is having a temper tantrum? Open government.
Oh, no. Democrats are punishing people applying for food stamps. I didn't say it. Tim Kaine said it.
First.
So, Senator, by your own logic, should Democrats not vote to reopen the government first and negotiate later?
Kristen, here's what's different now. The president told the Republicans to write this budget without any Democratic involvement.
Here's what's different now. Guys, this is NBC nailing Tim Kaine to the wall. There is no escape from this one. Now, I like what Chip Roy in this clip regarding the No Kings rally. He's there with Mike Johnson, had a quote, but I haven't quoted Chip Roy in a while, so we're going to hear from him. I liked it.
Weaponize the government against the American people. And now they want to turn around and say they're going to have a No Kings rally? This is the dying breath of a bankrupt party, in my humble opinion.
The dying breath of a bankrupt party. That's the good news, guys. He's admitting it. They're desperate. They have nothing. It's a tantrum, okay? I like ending on a feel-good note. Democrats want you to think like blacks and whites are at each other's throats. That's a lie. Most people get along fine. Most people respect each other. Now, this is a clip that I pulled that is of a Navy friend who hadn't seen each other in years. So I don't know how old they are, but this is what a Navy guy walked up to another Navy guy. This is how they responded. I got to turn the volume down. There's music on there. So he comes up to this guy, and the guy's eating, and he doesn't recognize him at first. They were And he's talking, and that's his son, and that's his wife at the table, and he knows all their names because when you're in the military, you tell each other everything. Look at this. There you go. That's America right there, my people. Couple of Navy guys thrilled to see each other. Oh, this warms my heart. Look at that. And he's got a white cowboy hat. He looks like Boss Hogg. He's meeting the kids, and in respect, they've heard all the stories. They're hugging him too. They're all just loving on him. Everyone loves each other. This is the real America that MAGA, that we patriots belong to. These are all patriots serving their country. Even his wife, the guy gives him a hug. And on that happy note, I hope that warms your heart and makes your day. That's going to be my happy thought for the day, that those old friends got to see each other again, greeting each other in public. Not a big deal, just normal in the greatest country on God's green earth. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm Doug in Exile.